the devil! Now, I know I wasn't going to drop another episode out before Christmas, or at least I wasn't planning to. However, this patch landed, and oh boy, did it land. So, intermittent field upgrades. That's nice. Once we're in a position to combine this with the ability to choose crew and skill loadout sets at the beginning of a match, I think we might start seeing a lot more variety in the current meta. It's a shame, it feels in the current meta that ships only really have one optimal all-purpose any situation loadout. I'm looking forward to this changing. After all, variety is the spice of life. I have to hand it to Edgecase, they really know how to listen to their community. I'm tired of how easy it is for hunters to backcack. Boom! No in-base mining stations and a great big stud-off set of cannons on the home base. Job done. I don't like the way the snipers can jump into home base, fly all the way to the edge of the map and snipe. Boom! Have some totally fat asteroids floating around your home base. Job done. I'm tired of all the invisible walls that I fly into and they block my shots. Okay, we're going to need a big one for this. Boom! Have a whole new map with themed sectors, beautifully subtle mood lighting and a surreal experience of blowing the crap out of each other around giant space debris. Thanks, Edgecase. Not only have these, and many other changes, fixed a lot of the issues within the game, but they've also answered a heap load of questions I had. There are many core things the community has been voicing their concern over for the past few months, but it appeared to all intent and purpose that ECG were ignoring the issues. Now I couldn't understand why. It doesn't make logical sense they weren't interested, and they had to see how big the issues were, this patch being evidence of that. I figured they'd got something up their sleeve, which is why they weren't doing anything to resolve the problems. I didn't realise, however, it was a wizard's sleeve, as that's what's needed in order to hide anything this big. Everything makes a lot more sense now. You wouldn't go fixing terrain that causes invisible obstruction if you are currently rebuilding the whole map. That would just be daft. It does beg another question I have though. The current pre-match pick mode doesn't make sense and isn't practical. They don't appear to have done anything recently to improve this. Let's face it, even alphabetizing ship list would save a lot of heartache. Which to me suggests, in the not too distant future, we're going to see a new system in place for ship selection, and maybe even queuing as well? Who knows? But, I bet if they do, that might even bring about the changes to the pre-match skill and crew picking I was talking about before. Whilst on topic of prolific realisation, it came to me the other day why I don't get along with the sniper. It's the mobility, or lack of. Bit of background here, I'm that guy who plays recon and pops heads at a KOA. Unlike most games I've played, the sniper class in Fractured Space lacks any mobility. Don't get me wrong, I understand why. I would however like to see a mobile sniper that requires time to set up, something like the Overseer stance change, but more mobile. Basically, picture Antonio Banderas in the film Assassins when he sets up in the window opposite the bank waiting for Stallone. If you haven't seen it, well, it's tough luck as I'm guessing it probably hasn't aged that well. Essentially, I'm trying to say, give me a mobile sniper, even if it takes time to set up, and no, I don't mean the Ranger. Sadly, with these new changes in place, it does mean I have a lot of older map footage floating around now. So I'll be throwing these up over the next day or two, as they are already rendered. Think of it as a last hurrah for the old map style. I had another random thought as well. A deathmatch style arena would be quite nice for two reasons. Firstly, it lets you try out new ships that you've unlocked before taking them out into a real match. And secondly, I think it might help a lot of the newer players get that whole must eat brains bug out of their system so that they can actually play the objective. Seriously, I was in a match yesterday and watched a guy in a Colossus boost after an equaliser away from the enemy's mining station back towards ours. My brain just couldn't fathom it. Also, another little request for Edgecase. Any chance of a missile impact notification alert so we can tell how effective our barrages are? When I'm having to factor in broken armour, the varying degrees of damage from different missile types, etc., it can be a bit difficult, on the fly, if you forgive the pun, to calculate how many of my missiles have actually landed. This was something I was recently discussing with a couple of the people I regularly play with, and we feel this would be a great improvement to the system. I appreciate it isn't at the top of the list, and it's not an easy task, but hey, it's Christmas. If you don't ask, you don't get. And, speaking of Christmas, this leads me on nicely to my final point. I have 2 keys for Fractured Space to give away. Merry Christmas and all that jive. Anyone can win them. All you have to do is like and share this video and comment your Steam name below. Winners will be picked at random. Closing date will be the 28th to the 12th. This way it makes Christmas last a little bit longer. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that leaves me with one last message. Have a very Merry Christmas, eat well, drink heartily and be merry. And until next time, take care.